Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. So, as youngsters, I think it is very important to understand and know how we are going to move about our finances, and this is something that we need to understand very closely. So, before we take that decision, we need to understand a couple of things, and that is knowing the right amount of finances and the resources at the right time. And post pandemic lending, getting debts, getting funds, all these have become a challenge. So to understand what kind of finance we are looking into and what kind of resource we want, it is important to identify these steps of growth that we aim for, to identify the milestones that we would like to achieve in particular set of time, and also have an excellent support system for that. So as an entrepreneur, it is important to know how your personal resources and personal standings and savings are, to identify and understand the difference as to what is your short term goal and what is your long term goal, and then maybe depending on that may understand whether it is a part of a normal operation that you are looking into and finance it accordingly, or whether you want looking into a long term goal and accordingly you need to have a debt collection or something like that. So coming to the types of financing, there are basically two: equity and debt, and there are other sources now because of lot of angel investors and lot of fundings that we are having across the overseas also. There are various other types of finances. So let us look into the pros and cons of each of them. So equity is also sometimes called the risk capital, and it involves your 100% finance. The other option is where you dilute your shareholding, and instead of giving 100%, you can have it along with your some investors who may be medical, who may be non-medical, and then move forward accordingly. But having a self-finance, which is basically a proprietorship, you have the complete ownership, you have the willingness and the ability to take risks, so there's no headache of repaying the loans. You are not time pressed for payments. You have availability of short terms and quick funds. So for example, a machine gets wrong somewhere, or there's some immediate need of something, you are not self-pressed or to get loans and debts. And at the end of it, maybe when you are at the fag end of your career, even if you want to exit, you can exit with the profit. So the other important thing is you can invest whatever profits you are earning from your business into the business accordingly, and so that facility or that part of it is within your capacity. However, there are some cons, and most importantly the risk. So if you don't have the ability to take that risk, if you're not able to fund it, definitely you should go for debts. There are other options, there are other cons like mortgage, their personal assets. There is no direct tax advantage which is there in case of debt, and definitely you'll have to keep a separate contingency fund, as no one can predict the future. We have all experienced the COVID times, and this is one of the highlights of that. So coming to the angel investing or partnerships, it is basically a private non-professional investor. It may be a friend or a business associate. Important is to identify a formal MOU or understanding, so that there are no legal litigations or anything. And angel investors, the side to this, the pros are basically there are less risk, less management. You can concentrate more on your work. You can take advantage of the investors' experience on the workplace, have increased networking, and also get follow-up fundings if required. However, you lose the ownership, you lose the decision making. Very, very difficult in this scenario to find like-minded partners or like-minded investors. So the risks of litigations increase. So looking into the sources of capital equity, there can be seed funds, business angels, venture funds, corporate funds, and of course stock markets. Last but not the least, let me just have a brief into the cons of the debt investing before my friend here speaks about the debt. So the debt basically involves low willingness to take risk. There is no ownership involved. There is a lot of influence of the contributors. You are always time pressed to pay the interest and the loans. The bank usually obtains or asks for an yearly report or obtains a financial report. So you are absolutely clear, and you have to be clear and open about it. And business owners must sign a promissory note. And as the scenario is changing every year, there are varying interest rates. So these are a couple of cons as if you're looking into a debt investment. Thank you.